the magical market. In a quiet corner of the world, hidden from the eyes of ordinary people, there was a market unlike any other. It appeared only once a year, and only to those who truly needed its wonders. The market was known as the magical market, a place where anything could be found: treasures, potions, enchanted items, and even dreams. One chilly evening in late autumn, a young woman named Elara stumbled across the market by accident. She was a simple seamstress, living in a town where nothing ever seemed to change. Her life was filled with the rhythm of stitching fabric and mending torn clothes, but Elara had always felt there was something more to the world, something just out of reach. That evening, as she walked home from the last customer of the day, a strange glow caught her eye. It shimmered through the trees at the edge of the forest, a soft, inviting light. Curious and somewhat apprehensive, Elara followed the glow until it led her to a clearing. To her astonishment, there, spread before her, was a bustling market. Stalls and tents glittered with magical wares, and the air was filled with the sounds of laughter, music, and the low murmur of voices haggling. There were creatures from stories, some with wings made of stardust, others with fur that sparkled like gems. The scent of spices and exotic flowers filled the air, and colorful lights danced like fireflies in every corner. A tall, silver-haired man appeared beside her. His eyes twinkled with knowledge. "Welcome to the magical market," he said, his voice smooth like a lullaby. "Only those with true need can find their way here." Elara, still in shock, asked, "What is this place? And why am I here?" "The market provides," the man explained. "But only if your heart knows what it seeks. The choice is yours. You may find something that answers a question, or something that will change the course of your life." For a moment, Elara stood frozen. She had so many desires. She longed for adventure, for meaning beyond her simple life. But she had never truly known what she needed. "Come, wander," the silver-haired man encouraged. "Look around, and you will find your answer." Elara hesitated, then began to walk slowly through the stalls. There were shelves filled with books that whispered their stories when you touched their spines. There were jars filled with memories, each one glowing softly. In one corner, a woman sold tiny glowing lanterns that could capture the light of a single star. Another stall offered bottles of laughter, each sealed with a ribbon of gold. As Elara moved deeper into the market, she passed a stall with a beautiful, shimmering cloth draped over it. The cloth seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy, and the merchant, a young woman with eyes that mirrored the night sky, smiled warmly. "This," the woman said, "is a piece of the sky itself. It can show you a future you've never dreamed of, a path you could take if you had the courage to follow it." Elara felt a tug in her heart. It was as if the cloth was speaking directly to her deepest desires. She had always dreamed of a life filled with excitement, of exploring places far beyond the quiet town she called home. But fear always held her back, the fear of the unknown, the fear of leaving everything she knew. The merchant noticed her hesitation. "Do you wish to see what could be, or do you choose to remain in the life you know?" Elara looked at the cloth one last time. A future full of possibilities stretched before her, but it wasn't just the adventure she wanted, it was the courage to embrace it. With a deep breath, she made her choice. "I will take it," she said, her voice steady. The merchant smiled and wrapped the cloth around Elara's shoulders. As soon as it touched her skin, a wave of warmth and light surrounded her, and she felt a surge of bravery coursing through her. The cloth shimmered, and in that moment, she saw herself standing at the helm of a ship, sailing toward distant lands, laughing with friends who were more like family, exploring places she had only ever dreamed of. "You've made a wise choice," the merchant said. "This will guide you when the time comes." With newfound determination, Elara turned to leave, but as she did, the silver-haired man appeared once more. "You are ready now," he said. "The market has given you what you truly needed. But remember, this place will not appear to you again until your heart calls for it." Elara nodded, feeling a sense of peace settle within her. She had found what she needed, not just a glimpse of her future, but the courage to step into it. As she walked back through the trees, the glowing lights of the magical market faded behind her. The path home seemed different now, brighter, filled with endless possibilities. And she knew that when the time was right, the market would appear again, waiting for her to return. For now, though, Elara was ready to write her own story.